Hello, welcome to Verbling. Hi there, I'm Teacher Oakley, and once again, it's time for famous quotes. In this class, which I do once a week on this day, around this time, we look at some famous individual and we'll look at the quotes from this person and maybe talk about the individual and a little bit, and then we look at the quotes and kind of debate them. Now, quotes are sometimes philosophical and ambiguous in nature, so I encourage you to share your opinion. Don't worry about it because they're open to interpretation. There is no wrong or right answer. So you can't be wrong. Welcome to a class where you can't be wrong. Hooray! Uh, and we will talk about what we think the meaning is, as well as discuss any cultural references or idiomatic language or troublesome vocabulary collocations or phrases. So we also may learn a little vocabulary along the way. Today's class will be about Robert Frost. We will be looking at quotes from Robert Frost. What?
Psychiatrist, no.
Sorry, Heidi?
Psychiatrist, no. Different.
Checklist?
Psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist? No.
No.
Psychiatrist.
Not Freud.
Not Freud. No, that's Sigmund Freud.
Frost. What? Frost is the tool to clean our between teeth.
Oh, that's floss. That's floss when you have a little piece of waxy string.
Frost is window
No.
Early morning on the leaves.
There you go. Early morning on the leaves, on the glass outside your window. There may be frost on a winter morning. That is absolutely correct. Frost.
Okay, finally correct.
Yes, and his name is Robert Frost. Hi, Heidi. Do you know who Robert Frost is? He's not a psychiatrist.
on the leaves. Early morning.
Yes. Not Jack Frost. That's. Do you know who Jack Frost is, Heidi?
No.
Okay. Jack Frost is a mythical, not a real character, a fictional children's, very much like Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny or the Tooth Fairy. Jack Frost creates the frost. He magically flies around with his little fairy wings, and he makes frost on the windows and on the grass in the fall. Like that.
I never heard.
Never heard of Jack Frost? Well, there you go. Now you know. Okay. Let me welcome some others to the class. Hello, Luo, again.
I'm curious about when you have lunch, because it's a lunchtime.
Yeah, it is lunchtime. Luo, I did myself a great disservice today. I actually have 8 classes in a row, all 1-hour classes, and I don't have a single break, not even
Yeah,
not even for lunch. So as the classes progress, I'm going to start getting dizzier and dizzier because I haven't eaten. So you can look forward to me being more and more of a maniac than I already am. Okay. Luo, do you know who Robert Frost is?
And I have no any ideas comes into my mind. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Hello, Milton.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. Milton, there's a town where I'm from called Milton.
I'm from Mexico City.
You're from Mexico City, but you probably didn't know this. There's a town named after you in the United States.
Okay. I I think this town is in England because my name it's about
Originally,
yes, it's about the separation of meal town, the
town.
town of meal. Okay, and that's my name.
That's right. You're very good. Etymology there. Mill, like you mill flour. Okay, you mill wheat into flour, and town, ton. You're absolutely correct. There's a town very close to where I grew up, also called Milton. There's a number of towns in the United States with the same name as towns in England, especially in the Northeast.
Yes, and all the people thinks that name comes from Brazil, but no, etymology it's from England.
I know that. That is true. Um, do you know who Robert Frost is?
I don't know, but I Google it, and it's a poetry.
Okay. All right. So now you know. Pardon me. Hello, Fu. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
doing well, thank you. Nice to
Okay.
see you again.
Nice to see you as well. Uh, do you know who Robert Frost is?
Yes.
Actually, I have been signed up for a while, so I missed the previous time, so I don't get any idea. Maybe, sorry.
Okay.
Rare.
I don't have any idea. Better
Not.
way to say that.
He was
Yes.
awarded the congressional.
Uh, okay. What, Heidi?
Huh?
Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I thought I muted.
Okay.
I was reading Wikipedia.
Didn't know what you're talking about there.
He was
Okay. All right. Getting your background. Okay. Okay. Hello, Wenting. How are you?
Pretty good. Nice to see you again.
Pretty good. All right. Great. Nice to see you as well. Do you know who Robert Frost is?
I didn't know him a minute ago, but now, yes.
Now you do. Okay. Cool. Ah, Ned there. Hey there.
Hi, how
Hello.
are you? Hello,
You
how
know,
are you?
I know you know who Robert Frost is.
Yeah, yeah, I know him very well.
I knew you did because you quoted him in one of our classes, and that actually gave me the idea.
Yes, regarding that, the road not taken.
Exactly, precisely. Yes. Well, Robert Frost is an American poet, arguably the most famous American poet, at least for Americans. Arguably, you could agree or disagree on that one. He won count them, four Pulitzer Prizes for poetry, along with the Congressional Gold Medal for poetry. So he won, he's greatly lauded. Ooh, there's a vocabulary word for you. Lauded, praised, publicly praised, highly lauded poet in American culture. Anyway, so he's a poet. So you know what that means. Some of the quotes that we're going to be looking at today will most likely be very symbolic, metaphorical, and philosophical. Philosophical? Did I just say that? Philosophical. Let me try that again. My goodness. Okay, so yeah, we might have a lot to talk about, and we might all have different interpretations of what his intentions are, or what his meaning is behind his quotes. Uh, Hang on, let me adjust slightly, and then I can do a screen share with you. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look and discuss. All right, here's a piece from one of his more famous poems. Heidi, can you
Hmm?
read some poetry for us
The
here?
wood are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep.
Aha. Okay. This is actually, I believe, this is from the poem "A Road Not Taken," if memory serves. Okay, in which he is talking about. This poem is talking about life choices. So he's speaking a little bit metaphorically. Heidi, do you have any idea what he could be symbolizing
I
here?
think the wood means the world where we are sleeping, dark and deep and lovely.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hmm.
All right.
And before sleeping, I have promised to keep my fear some development for next day.
Okay. Well, that is interesting. Okay. That's an interpretation I've never thought of before.
So far, I'm going to the bed.
Okay. That's
It's
very
very lovely.
interesting.
That's
Okay.
right.
I might add here, Heidi, being that you're Japanese, I am a little bit familiar, not greatly, but a little bit familiar with some Japanese poetry and haiku, and I understand the deep and rich symbolism of nature in Japanese poetry. And so, anyway, Robert Frost also loved to use imagery from nature to symbolize and express his ideas. So I'm just throwing that out there. Actually, some of his work kind of reminds me of Japanese poetry, interestingly enough. Luo,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think he's talking about? Again, he's a poet, so rich in imagery and symbolism.
Mm-hmm.
What comes to
If
your
you,
mind?
yeah, I can remember you said this is talk about your life probably. So
Hmm.
if the talk about your life, I think your goal is like a woods. It's lovely and but it's some to an extent some of them are very tough to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
And he said have promises to keep and miles to go before. It's too tough, yes, because you want to relax and relax on your bed. You want to have a rest. If you in the position of the process of the achieve your goal, and you will hard to get any get relaxation. Yeah, I mean.
Okay. You will have to get relaxed. Well, you have to relax. I don't think you need get relaxation. Oh yeah, okay. Then you use the noun. All right. Trying to also think about your grammar as well as your deeper meaning. This is a tough class for me, actually. I realize I'm multitasking. I have to work on two levels. I have to check your English and think about your deep, uh, deeper meaning at the same time. Uh, Nader, what do you think here?
Yeah, I think, as you said, this poem about life and death, and
Yeah,
this sleep, maybe the final sleep, he
yeah.
will take death. So he has too much to do before he dies. And the woods are lovely, dark and deep. Maybe it's life. It's lovely, dark and deep.
Yeah.
So
It,
the problem with Robert Forrest, as you know, he has so his poem are very, very deep, and you never know what he says. He may say something and means the opposite. But here, I guess he's talking about life and death.
Okay, very good, and good. I agree with your observation about Robert Frost himself. Yeah. It's not only is it some difficult to figure out what he's talking about, but sometimes he may be talking about the opposite. But in my opinion, sometimes he likes to talk with double symbolism. Maybe he means two things at the same time.
Yeah, maybe.
Right? I don't know. Just sometimes I have noticed that or thought that. It's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nader.
Okay, no problem. We can come to this later. Okay.
Okay. Fu.
Yes.
What do you think? What do you think this is symbolizing? For example, what is the woods? Are lovely, dark, and deep.
I think the woods are lovely, dark, and deep is symbolize for an easy life and temptation in your life. You all want to have an easy life and enjoy your life as much as possible, but life is not easy. Life is tough, and you have a lot of responsibility to fulfill. And in life, you need determination, just as a promise to keep. So you have to have determination to overcome the temptation, and you're thinking of an easy life to achieve your goals before you can really relax and enjoy your life. I think the other this is the other opinions about life. In addition, I think the other want to emphasize that life, what we are expecting from life is opposite in reality. Reality is always difficult, and you have to be very determined to achieve your goals in life. I think so.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah. Right. Okay. All right. Using the woods as a symbol of life and life's temptations. I see where you're going. Okay. Very good. Let me give you a little feedback as far as pronunciation. Author, emphasize. The author's trying to emphasize.
Yeah, emphasize.
Okay, and also determined. It's a short I, min. Determined.
Yeah, determined.
Okay, but I like your interpretation, Fu. I like it a lot, actually.
Yes.
I hadn't really thought about that, but I really like it. Thinking about not just the woods as a symbol for life, but also dark and deep as the temptations in life. I like that a lot. That's good. Very, very good. Thank you, Fu. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Let me welcome a couple of students to the class. Hello, Tammy.
Hi.
Hey, how are you today?
Good.
Good. And hello, Kwong.
Yes, hello, teacher.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm fine.
Glad to hear it. Okay, welcome to the class. We're looking at Robert Frost today. Wenting, do you have anything additional to add about this quote? Or shall we move on?
For me, the words is something like the future. Just I have promises to keep and miles to go before I die. No matter how the future may be lovely, may be dark, maybe unknown.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yes. Yes, and I think you're right. The idea miles to go before I sleep, a long way before I die, right? Okay. Um. All right. All right. Here's a lovely quote. All right. I just quickly, Wenting, can you read this one for us?
In 3 words, I can sum up everything I've learned about life. It goes on.
Do you agree? Disagree?
Yes, nothing doesn't change.
Nothing ever changes. Well, okay, that's interesting. Tammy, what do you think?
No, I don't have an idea about it.
Okay. Kwong, do you have any? Do you agree with this? Do you think you can sum up life in 3 simple words? It goes on.
I don't understand much about this quote.
Okay. Well, all right. They're quotes, and he's a poet as well. Robert Frost is a poet. So what you understand about it, it's poetry, is what you understand about it. uh, Meaning to say that we could, all of us here in this class could have a perfectly valid and completely different interpretation. So there's no need to, there's no wrong or right answer. All right. What do you think about it? Okay. Well, I guess there's not much to say about that quote. Let's try another one. Kwong. Whoops. Sorry. Kwong, can you read this quote for us?
Okay. Education is ability to listen to almost anything without losing your temper or your self-confidence.
Aha. Let that sink in for a minute. Kwong, what do you think of that? I think this is, I don't think there's really any deep symbolism or metaphor here. This is just an observation, a quote. What does he mean by that? Any idea? I can come back to you. Yeah, okay. Heidi? What do you think of this?
We can learn everything from everything. For example, argument or anything, the bad news and good news. But you shouldn't lose your temper.
Okay.
And not too much self-confidence.
All right.
Self-confidence sometimes it's better to learn something.
Okay. I think it's interesting he's looking at education as an ability. He calls it an ability. Luau. Okay, nice observation. C'est la vie. Yeah, right. Well, that's life. Life goes on. Thank you. Right. For the last quote. Luau, what do you think of Robert Frost's idea about education? Why would he say such a thing? Yeah.
I think that's true because most time when you study anything, you should listen to your teachers. But I think there are some more things you have to do when you study. Practice, practice also very important. But I think the most important thing Robert Frost has mentioned is self-confidence. You should have self-confidence and motivation to make you uh, make you listen and practice on your own. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's also interesting. Net error. What do you think, net error?
Actually, I'm not sure what he means, but I guess it means with good education you will not you lose your self-confidence or your temper when you listen to anything, whether it is hurtful or it is shocking. You believe in yourself, and it will not whatever you hear, whatever you know, you will never lose your ability to control yourself or you will never lose your self confidence.
Mm-hmm. I guess, this is very difficult to understand. But I know something that you probably don't know. When Robert Frost lived during his lifetime and when he was growing up, he in the late 1800s in the United States, the educational system was one in which the headmaster or whoever the teacher was basically the way the education worked, they told you this is the way it is. You were not to question anything. You were basically drilled. Frankly, the educational system in the United States in the late 1800s was very, very into punishment. If you didn't remember the lesson, you would be beaten. In England, too, it was very much the same. Well, no surprise that they were similar. But basically, education was more like punishment being enforced rather than an exploration of ideas and creativity. It was more like, I don't know, it was more like a job where you had to get it done. And if you didn't get it done, you would be punished severely, physically. Anyway, so I think there's a little background to this quote that may help with the understanding why he's saying you can listen to almost anything without losing your temper. You were not allowed to question information from your teacher, ever. So I can understand how that would be frustrating.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Maybe I guess he dropped the school or something.
Yes, I believe he did drop out of school.
Yeah, so maybe because he couldn't control himself and he couldn't listen to this kind of education, keep quiet, or he couldn't continue to deal with this.
Yeah. It's surprising to me, actually, how many famous Americans that you international students have probably all heard of who dropped out of school. Robert Frost, okay, Thomas Edison, Albert Einstein, a great number of famous Americans dropped out of school, actually. Because the education system, well, maybe because of the way the education system was. They didn't like the idea that you had to subordinate yourself and your ideas to one figure of authority, which is probably why they all went on to be famous. So anyway, I think that aspect is very interesting. Fu?
Yes.
Okay, so I think there's a little background here in that. Do you think education should be just learn this now? If you don't learn at least 90% of this material, I'm going to beat you with a stick. What do you think of that method of education? Do you like it?
In my opinion, I myself don't like this way of education, but I think this way of education is popular around the world, even in my countries. Yeah.
Really?
Yes, the students expect to accept everything the teacher teach them or tell them. But in my opinion, I think this way of education should be changed in the future. As this quotation, education is the ability to listen to almost anything. This is the right idea. Yes, you in education, when you're learning, you have to listen to any information and the teacher give you, but you have to you should not lose your temper and your self-confidence. It means I think you have your right to choose what to put in your mind and what to keep for yourself, and what you should leave it go. Don't take it in your mind. So you have some self-confidence for choosing what is important to you. And to keep with your opinion and express your opinion to the teacher, even it is opposite to the teacher's opinion. I think that's the way education should be. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Fu. Fu, if I'm not mistaken, you are a teacher, correct?
Yeah, yes, I'm a teacher. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
And you know, I before I teach, before I begin class sessions, I also tell my students don't observe everything I say are correct. You have the right to express your opinion, and even if the opposite to mine, you are all welcome, and no discipline or no bad score. Just express your opinion. Even I think it is wrong or it is right, I also highly regard you because you have the confidence to express yourself to me. That's the thing I want from my student. Not my student just reiterate what I said or what the book said. I think so. Yeah.
Well, I think that's a very good approach, but that's my opinion. But I agree with you, Fu. I like that. I'm very happy to hear that, actually. Awesome, Fu. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Tammy, let me ask you about the education system in your country. Are you allowed to question the teacher?
Yes. Yes.
You are.
Yes.
It is not necessary to just 100% believe everything the teacher says.
It depends. I mean, I mean, for religion courses, you cannot ask more. I mean, but for other, you can ask. And depends of the teacher. How old is he? Which generation is he? I mean.
Aha. So there been generational changes in education then?
Yeah. In our country, I mean, yeah, the society is changing rapidly, very fast. So you can see that the difference between generation and another generation.
Okay. Interesting. Do you think education in your country builds self-confidence or reduces self-confidence?
It's built, but it's need more improvement. But they are in the right way now. I mean, and they send a lot of students abroad. There is in the United States more than 100 students now, and in UK 45,000 students there. So the country, they want to change I mean, the society. So the education, I believe it's in the right way now.
Okay. A good way to express that concept we often use in English is you might say the country's moving in the right direction.
Okay.
I'd say that. Yeah. Okay, Tammy. Thank you. All right.
Look.
That was interesting, actually. Wenting.
Yeah.
You have anything to say? Any reaction to this in regards to your educational experience?
Actually, no. I still do not understand this quote. I still do not understand why education is ability.
Right. Okay. That I understand why you're confused. I know is the ability. That's a little odd. Okay. I think he's. I'm not sure. You know, there's a depends how you interpret it. I think Robert Frost was very cynical and sarcastic about education at his particular time when he was alive. I think what he's saying is that the whole idea of education simply maybe is the ability. It requires the ability to just shut up and listen and try not to get angry or feel inadequate or feel loss of self-confidence.
Just for me, I think it's something like educated people just are able to listening to almost everything, but not the education system.
Yeah.
Just that's my interpretation.
Okay, and that's fine. That's interesting. Okay, more personalized. Okay, let's look at another one here. Okay, I just think this is funny. I just wanted to share this because I wanted to share that I think, in my opinion, Robert Frost has a sense of humor. Wenting, can you read this one for us?
The brain is a wonderful organ. It starts working the moment you get up in the morning, and it does not stop until you get into the office. Yes, humor.
Yes, humor. Okay. Just wanted to share that one. I like that quote. Very good. Thank you, Robert. All right. Does anybody have any comments about this? I really seriously just think he's trying to be funny, and I think it is funny. Any comments before we move on to more philosophical or symbolic? Okay. Luau, can you read this one for us? I'm going to go backwards.
Half the word.
Yep.
Okay, half the world is composed of people who have something to say and can't, and the other half who have nothing to say and keep on saying it.
He is a little bit of a cynic, isn't he? Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do you think he means by this? Or do you think it's right, or do you disagree, or what do you think?
I actually I don't agree with it.
You don't? Okay.
Yeah, because but I think his metaphor and he make a abstract point. So, and we don't have to make out any meanings literally. So, yeah. I don't know. Actually.
No, I don't think it's completely. Well, it can't be literal completely. All right. Well, let's see. Let's see if we have some other interpretations. Heidi. What do you think?
To me, though, how people have some opinion, but they can't say anything, right? And the other, even though they don't have any opinion, but saying something.
Exactly. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. So, what do you think about the validity of this statement? How valid is it? How true is it?
Then who has opinion and can say it?
That's the question, isn't it? Indeed. Yeah. That's a that's a very good question. Okay. Excellent question. Nader, what do you think?
Yeah, I guess first of all, this is a bit true, but I guess I only disagree with the number or the percentage. I guess maybe less than 10% has nothing to say.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, I don't know if he really means nothing to say or if he means nothing of any importance to say.
Sorry, I guess who has something to say maybe is in less than 10%, 90% of people or more maybe. They don't have anything to say and keep saying it.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay. All right. Tammy, what do you think of this quote?
I think that's. I agree that the percentage is not, I mean, the true, but.
Okay.
Yeah, but. And I think the people, I believe that the people, when they say something to do, they will not do it.
Ah.
I mean, if the people want to do something, they will not say it. They will keep it to.
They'll just do it.
Yeah, they just do it. But when the people say, "I will do," and I will do, and I believe that they will not do anything. What they
Ah.
That's the idea of dogs who which bark or who bark? That bark do not bite?
Ah, right. Right. Dogs who. Yeah, right. Same idea. Okay. Dogs who bark don't bite. It's the dogs who don't bark you have to watch out for. Or I don't know exactly how the expression goes. I'm totally paraphrasing, rephrasing, but that's the idea, I think. I think that's taking this quote a little further, but I like it. I agree with it. Wenting, do you have any alternate interpretations or ideas here?
I hold different opinion because I think just maybe because the different times we lived, I think that the silent majority didn't say do not say anything because they are afraid of saying, but not they can't. And also just I usually have nothing to say, but I want to keep on saying it and always failed, especially English.
Oh dear. Yeah, there is a reason, Wenting, they call it the silent majority. There is a reason that's a collocation. It is a phenomenon which I have noticed that most cultures have that expression or that idea of that concept of the silent majority. I mean, is that a concept for you guys, Nader? Is that a concept in your culture?
Yeah, we have it. They say the silent majority, or now they call it the couch party.
The what? Couch party?
The couch party. Or the sofa party. Those people who stay at home, they do not go out for a change. Because this was very, very popular after the revolution, because some people went for revolution, and as a silent majority are stayed at home. They didn't express their opinions, so they called them the couch party.
I get it. That's interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Actually, I just quick poll, straw poll quick poll. Okay, Luo, is there a concept of the silent majority in your culture?
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
We have
Okay.
we have a very widespread concept of the silent majority because in our country just a few people could make their sounds to get across the people. So a vast majority of people are silent. So, and I want to explain why I say I don't agree. And as I type into chat box, because it isn't not the half and half. Half people want to say have the rights to say. Half people no rights to say. I think the percentage are wrong. So that's why I say I don't agree. Probably 90% to 10%. Yeah.
Okay. You guys are all more cynical than Robert Frost. Now, Heidi, how about Japan? Is there a concept of the silent majority in Japan?
Every 3 months, the newspaper do some poll about politics, the government, the supporting radio or something. But I disagree with that, and even I've never had such opinion from around me. So who are saying? I don't know how they took the poll.
Yes. Well, I know this is off topic, but I have a deep suspicion about those polls. Some of how those polls and how they are conducted. Seriously, first of all, many of those very world-famous polls, the Gallup poll, the Pew poll, these are worldwide famous, I almost said infamous, famous polling companies with a worldwide renowned reputation. But I don't understand because they call like 1,000 people. First of all, 1,000 is a very low number to assess the population of Japan or United States or anywhere else. Secondly, they call them on the phone. Who is just sitting by their phone in the middle of the day? How can that be representative of the population? And who actually answers their phone? Instead of letting it go to what kind of people? It seems like they must be asking questions of a very specific type of person.
Yeah, at that time, the person is staying at home. So,
right? So it's not a worker. In America, nobody answers their phone. They let it go to voicemail. So it's only very old-fashioned people who would ever answer the phone. Secondly, I have actually been Gallup polled. Actually, it was very, very interesting. I was asked to do one of the presidential approval polls to gauge my approval rating of the president. I was, in fact, one of those 1,000 people. And it was fun because this poll, excuse me, was in the year 2002, and I was being polled about George Bush Jr., George G.W. Bush. Boy, I had fun on this poll. But in any case, so I know what they ask. And I know that they say, do you have time for a poll? Most busy, normal people say no, click. And they're not going to bother taking the poll. I have very serious reservations about those polls, actually. Here it is, Nader. Here's your quote, I believe.
Yeah. That's the one I was asking about, the expression, the one less traveled. I told you the one less taken.
Well, here it is, word for word, verbatim. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. Okay.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite poems. The one, this one, and the Mending Wall. So this one, you know, it's very, very deep and very, very. When you read it, you know, you think about your choices, the choices you have taken in your life. Did you should you've done something? Should you've if you have the chance again, or you have the opportunity again, should you make the same choices or not? Here you know, the poem, he was very, very confused. He was very, very hesitating. Why should he take this road and he should take the other? So here he took the one less traveled by, which means that he is not, he doesn't have this cattle mentality. He does not go with the sheep. Because he is different, that made all the difference.
Mm-hmm.
And sure, if he took another road, his life would have changed forever.
Wouldn't?
So, yes.
Wouldn't we all? I mean, wouldn't yours? Wouldn't mine?
Sure. This is very, very beautiful idea.
Mm-hmm. One quick English note. He was hesitating. We can say he was hesitant.
Yes.
As an adjective form of hesitate, hesitant.
Hesitant, yes,
right.
Like to be or not to be.
Right. Okay. Well, all right, and okay, I don't really know how much more you can say about that, because I think that's basically the idea. This is about symbolism for making choices in life, and how your choice makes a huge difference. Does anybody have any other observations or something you'd like to say about this quote? If not, we're going to move on, because we're running out of time. Oh, more about education. I'm skipping one, but just too bad Fu left, actually. I kind of like this, so I wanted to share it before our time is over. Tammy, can you read this one for us?
There are two kinds of teachers. The kind that fill you with so much choir shot that you can't move, and the kind that just gives you a little broad behind and you jump to the
skies.
Skies.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. All right. All right. First of all, do you know what he means? Fill you with quail shot?
No.
This is all an old idiom. Here's a 120-year-old idiom that's not used anymore. Okay. All right. They fill you with quail shot. Quail shot is shotgun pellets. A quail is a bird, a game bird, a bird that you eat. You can shoot it. You can hunt and shoot it. It's a forest bird that you can eat. Quite delicious. Okay, so quail shot is small metal pellets. So if you fill someone with quail shot, you just keep dumping on them. Okay, that's very modern slang English. Okay, the idea, you fill someone with quail shot, you over-inform them. All right? Too much information. Information overload is the idea here. Quail shot is a shotgun shell. Shotgun pellets. A shotgun is a type of a rifle, a weapon that you normally use to hunt birds. It doesn't shoot one bullet, one projectile. It shoots many small round pellets in more of a wider pattern, because birds, of course, fly and they jump around, well, fly around. There would be near impossible to hit with one bullet, so you use a shotgun. Quail shot, sometimes called bird shot, is a type of shotgun shell. It doesn't have a lot of force. It doesn't take a lot to kill a bird, but it has a wide spread. So the spread of these speeding pellets is like a meter wide or something. Okay, anyway, the idea being if you're full of quail shot, you can't move. They're made out of lead or iron. They're very heavy. Okay, so I think the idea being that the teacher overloads you with information as opposed to the kind that just gives you a little prod. They poke you, just a little push, and you jump into the skies. Okay, Tammy, do you kind of see the idea here?
Yeah, I can see the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think just not, I mean, maybe what I understand for this, I mean, just not the teacher, meaning the teacher just in the school or in some education provider or something. Like, I mean, the teacher maybe can be your parents, your friends, your...
True.
Yeah, so some of friends, they give you, like, they motivate you to do good things, and some no. And your parents, maybe they will encourage you to do good thing, and maybe not. That's I understood from this quote.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's an excellent point. I hadn't actually really thought of that. It has to do. It could be many kinds of teachers. I didn't really think about that. Because I'm a teacher, I'm being self-centered. Couldn't help myself. Thank you. That's a good observation. And also, I agree. It's about motivation. I think this quote's about motivation. Anybody have any last observations about this quote?
Yeah, maybe it is also similar to don't give me a fish, but tell me how to fish.
Yeah, that also has to do with motivation, right?
Yeah, and as you said, he gives you this quick, ready information. But those people who tell you how to search it, or they just motivate you and leave you, maybe this is much better.
Yeah. I think those are related quotes. Yes, very good. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for participating and sharing your ideas. That was good. I liked that a lot. I enjoyed that. But it's time for me to go because I have another class here on Verbling. So,
all right, thank you, sir.
Bye for now.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.